we've got an amazing Week 8 matchup as the New Jersey NFL teams are playing each other this week. The Giants are coming off a victory against the Washington Commanders, and the Jets are at 500 coming off a bye as well. So Aaron Rodgers being back in the locker room has I think continued to put a spark into this team overall. They had an upset victory against Philadelphia the last time we saw them. And Ryan, I kind of want to throw it over to you here. Is both of these teams I think are kind of shocking just in general. I'm a little shocked that the Giants have been performing so poorly, especially too because it's not like too much changed or supposed to have changed from last year, especially like the offensive line, so to say. They're still one of the worst in the leagues. They have been dealing with a lot of injuries. But then the Jets, like as soon as they lost Aaron Rodgers, you're like, oh, God, Zach Wilson. Like they're not winning another game this entire season. And now here they are at 500. And Zach Wilson, I mean, if we're going to say Russell Wilson has improved, I mean, Zach Wilson has definitely improved. And he's not he's giving it his all. He's not blowing games for the Jets. So coming into this game, what is your overall expectation
so for me
on each of these teams?
The biggest thing with Zach Wilson that I think has improved is actually his confidence. And I don't know if it's like having Aaron Rodgers in your ear or just the fact that he put in a little bit more work this offseason or what. Like he looked horrible against the Patriots, but then against the Chiefs and then the Broncos after that, he looked good. Like he looked like a NFL, maybe like a high-end backup more or less. But
which
like
is what he is now, actually. So.
Well, yes, but like he actually looked like a high-end backup quarterback, and it's like we haven't seen that in 2.5 years of him being in the NFL. So it's like, okay, can like this progression continue? I think maturity-wise, he seems to be much more accountable to the team, and so I don't know. It is a different Zach Wilson. I'm not saying he's the heir apparent to the Jets quarterback throne after Aaron Rodgers comes back, but it's going to be interesting, I think, to watch his progression and kind of continue to grow. I will say this Giants defense is giving up about 225 yards a game in passing yards allowed. I would not be surprised if he goes over that.
Well, to me, I think, and this is going to be the Jets' recipe for success, is I don't see how the Giants are going to score points just because the Jets right now through 6 games are giving up a little bit over 200 passing yards per game. Rushing wise, they are one of the better ones in the league. Where are they at right now? Yards.
They're giving up 135.
Yeah,
but still, they have one of the best front sevens in the league.
Yeah, they still have one of the best front sevens in the league. And so even if they are giving up maybe a little more rushing yards than I think I would initially like. I just don't know if Tyrod Taylor's back there, and I think Saquon Barkley even got a little banged up again this past week.
He's not on the injury report, but
okay. Well, I know he still kind of has dealing with a little bit of an ankle injury, and I thought he aggravated it a little bit, but maybe that was just nothing from this game. But even then, though, it's like you go and look at this Giants offense, and they scored their first touchdown in about 3.5 games this past week against the Commanders, and that was in the first quarter. Then they scored another touchdown. Then they still didn't score again for the rest of the game. And the Commanders were only able to put up 7 points. I will say this Giants defense has been playing a little bit better. I thought that they did a good job against the Bills. And still to hold Sam Howell in that Commanders offense to just 1 touchdown is impressive. So I think that's going to be something to watch that Zach Wilson's going to have to deal with. But still, just in general, though, I give the overall nod to the Jets as the best side of the ball compared to both of these teams. And that's what keeps the Jets in a lot of these games. I think that's what takes a lot of pressure off of Zach Wilson to not have to be that fancy guy, that's going to have 300-plus passing yards per game, win a game, take him to a game-winning drive every single time. So this Jets defense, I think, is going to just be too much for Tyrod Taylor in this Giants offense.
Yeah. This Jets defense is one of the best in the league. I also think you look at Sauce Gardner and then Jordan Whitehead, and I'm like, I don't know who the Giants want to put up against those guys, but I know that whoever they do is going to lose. And so, like, for me, that's just, like, check mark for the Jets. I do really think, like, they're just going to dominate this game. And not to get into our predictions too early, but before we do that, go ahead and like and subscribe. Tyler and I are trying to get 2,000 subscribers by Halloween, so if you could help us reach that goal, we'd very much appreciate it, and it's the best way to get notified when we create new content. All right, shameless plug. I'm going with the Jets. I just think they're the better team. They, I think, have the much more upside on offense, right? I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh, like I think they can come out and put up 35 because I think that would be ridiculous. But like, I really do think that they could come out. Zach Wilson could throw for 250 yards. They could run for another 150, and then boom, all of a sudden they got 400 yards on this Giants defense that's frankly been reeling as of late. So, like, I just think they're the better team.
Yeah. No, I agree with you as well, especially too coming off a bye. And I don't really think there's too much home field advantage. I'm curious how that works out. I mean, Giants season tickets holders, I guess, get the game, but I'm sure there's plenty of Jets fans there all as well. I'm also going to go with the Jets in this one. I think I agree with you. They're just the overall better team. I don't think it's going to be the prettiest of games, but I can see it being like a 21-10 type victory.
I think that's a perfect score estimate is 21-10.
Yeah, I just think they're going to struggle overall. They still don't really have the offensive weapons. I think Darren Waller can only do so much, and he is getting a little bit older. I think Jalen Hyatt and Darius Slayton, I think, can help to continue. But the biggest bugaboo, I think, for the Giants is just going to be their offensive line. They've given up 37 sacks through 7 games. And the Jets they're towards the bottom in overall sacks, but they are top 5 when it comes to total pressures that they've accrued so far during the season. I think that is a huge factor as well through just 6 games. So I think that's going to be a major factor. Wouldn't be surprised if the Jets actually definitely increase their sack total in this game. But I think the Jets are going to win this one.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and wrap this video up here. If you guys have not already, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below on who you think is going to come out ahead in this matchup. Is it going to be the New York Jets? Is it going to be the New York Giants? Let us know what you think. And on that, we will see you guys next time.